I've been getting a lot of questions lately about the Foreign Investment in Real Property Tax Act, which you may know better as FIRPTA. FIRPTA is a federal law that requires the buyer to withhold a percentage of seller's proceeds from the sale of real property if the buyer is a foreign person, as defined by the IRS. However, there are a few exemptions to the required withholding, the most common of which is an exemption for property with a $300,000 or less sales price and buyer plans to live in the property. This FIRPTA requirement for buyer is specifically included in paragraph 20 of the TREC contract. Paragraph 20 states, if seller is a foreign person as defined by applicable law, or if the seller fails to deliver an affidavit to buyer that seller is not a foreign person, then buyer shall withhold from the sales proceeds an amount sufficient to comply with applicable law and deliver same to the IRS together with appropriate tax forms. The title company should have the certificate available and provide that to the buyer at closing, but it is the buyer's responsibility to make sure this is provided, and then to instruct the title company to withhold a specified amount that the buyer will deliver to the IRS with appropriate tax forms. FIRPTA holds the buyer responsible, and it is the buyer who will be sanctioned by the IRS for failure to make the proper withholding. The IRS defines a foreign person as a non-resident alien, a foreign corporation, a foreign partnership, or a foreign trust, or a foreign estate. If seller is foreign for IRS purposes, then the buyer should consult with a tax advisor about the applicability of any exemptions and/or the withholding and delivery requirements. Please note, when a title company handling your transaction tells you that they do not handle FIRPTA withholding, that does not mean FIRPTA does not apply. Your buyer is the one responsible to meet the requirements of FIRPTA. The buyer is required to remit the withheld funds to the IRS along with the appropriate forms. The buyer has to deliver it to the IRS on or before 20 days from the closing date. If seller then believes a refund is due from the IRS, seller will need to handle that separately with seller's tax advisors. FIRPTA is a complicated law, so this video is designed to be an overview. If one or more sellers in your transaction may be a non-resident alien under IRS rules, we highly recommend that both seller and buyer consult with their own tax advisors or CPAs regarding the applicability and handling of any FIRPTA requirements. And, as always, Allegiance Title is here to be your resource for results. Thank you.